Talkin It, episode 35.
Yeah. All right.
Not bad, not bad. What are you doing?
I'm loading up my plate a little bit
Yeah,
here.
we got to do
grabbing
the
a couple
introduction,
pieces.
talk
Yeah,
a
we
little
got
bit, and go over some stuff.
We've started.
Is this
The
it?
audio looks good. We've started. Okay,
We're in the episode. Okay.
I'm going in for the food. Hey, it's a food challenge episode thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should say for liability purposes where this is
Yeah.
from. It is a newer chicken place that has opened up in our region. And we like chicken. Who doesn't like fried chicken? We've discussed this several times on the Watching It podcast. But when we went to order through one of the sites, your DoorDash or Grubhub type thing, we were astounded at the price.
Yes.
Because prices of food everywhere have gone through the roof.
Sure,
this is
sure.
known. This is known.
High prices are one thing, but this was when you first told me about this place before we actually saw it on the site. I was like, no, he's fucking kidding. There's no way. Or you're exaggerating. You're like, you get some chicken, and it was like, I'm not going to say the price because we're going to get into it. But you're like, it's about this much. And I'm like, okay, so they have expensive chicken, but it's not that much. Right? And then we pulled up the site. I'm like, what's going on with this chicken? What is this chicken?
So we got 10 pieces tender.
10 tenders.
And then we got regular fries and waffle fries.
Yes.
We're doing a little smorgasbord here.
Yes.
We should have gotten like some mashed potatoes and some.
They don't have that. It's a Korean restaurant.
Oh,
this is Korean fried chicken.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So Donnell has the receipt here.
I
so
have
first,
the receipt right here.
Waffle fries. This is like, I don't know, 3 servings, maybe 2 servings for a stout gentleman. Each. What does the waffle fries cost?
$10.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
These
For
look
just
like
some
First
fries?
of all, this smells amazing. We haven't eaten any of it.
The food smells
Yeah.
fantastic. Like, I'm driving over here, and I'm just like, maybe I just go home. Maybe I don't go to Robert's place. I just spent the money. I just go home and enjoy it. Just be like, oh, sorry, Robert. They were closed, and I'm not feeling that great, so I'm going home. I'll see you tomorrow to record.
All right. The regular fries. What are the price of regular fries?
Save a little.
Standard order. Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah.
$8 though.
$8. Okay. That's for the amount of fries you got there. I mean, in this day and age, that's not That's not astronomical. I mean, you're gonna for like a large fry at like McDonald's or something. You're gonna pay like $5-6 now.
Yeah.
So this isn't out of control. This is.
It's
a
not
higher
insane.
end fry. This is several steps above just from looking at it. A McDonald's fry.
True.
Right.
True.
Right. Let's try a fry.
Okay, we're gonna just
we're not going in for the chicken yet. Okay, the regular fry.
Regular fry, no ketchup.
That's a good damn fry.
Really good seasoning.
Yeah. I feel like that's money worth of fry.
It's pretty good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
let's try a waffle fry.
All right.
I do have ketchup, but we don't need it right now.
Not yet. No. We got to try the stuff raw first.
Yeah, that's a little better, very slightly.
Different seasoning in it. Yeah, no.
I usually don't go for waffle fries.
I don't that often, but if you're going to
usually
do a
they're
waffle
too thin.
Yeah,
and
or
like
sometimes too thick, and you don't get all the way cooked all the way through. But if you're
Yeah.
going to do a waffle fry, you do have to. You can't just waffle a fry and fry it. There got to be a different kind of seasoning on it, and definitely, no.
I mean, these are like big waffle fries. These are like the whole potato, like the whole section.
Yeah,
They're like
yeah.
half an inch thick. Those are good. That's good. That's really good.
Yep.
Okay, the chicken.
Before
This is what really threw us off.
So before we get to the chicken, I want to tell you a little bit about going to this place.
Okay.
Because, so I'll go down there. Because we're not doing, for the price of this stuff, there's no way we're doing delivery. Like, they're on delivery, and delivery, there's so much, like...
It's like, let's just double the price.
Yeah. I'm like, no way in hell, I will pick this up. Thank you very much. So I go down there to pick it up, and you walk in, and this place, it just screams Gen Z-ish.
Oh yeah,
it's just very.
I bet it's very
tablets
clean
everywhere. Very clean. When I come in, the guy there's just a guy with an iPad on his hands. Like, oh, hi, how can I help you today?
Yeah,
and
the concierge.
and I'm just like, part of me's like, and that's why the chicken costs so much. 'Cause I'm just like, oh my gosh, it just was like.
How is parking in downtown Kirkland on a Saturday afternoon?
Very interesting. I drove around and found this weird random parking spot that it's literally marked one spot. No other cars can park there, only one car, and it's 2-hour parking, so I just slid in there. Nice. And like it's a very strange where it's at. You're just like, I don't know why this is a parking spot. I guess it just blew it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it wasn't too bad.
For people just DoorDash drivers and stuff, people just like you coming to pick up food and get out of there. Yeah. All right.
Let's talk about this chicken. We got 10 tenders.
10 tenders.
We got 10 tenders.
Yes. No, so for me, the cutoff is like $1.50 a tender.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So about $11, $11.50.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I guess that's more than that's about $15. What?
It'd be about it'd be 15.
That's still a lot, man. $1 a tender, 10 tenders. Okay, these are big tenders.
Yeah, they are big tenders.
These are big tenders.
But no, I will
so
accept.
Good. My mouth is watering.
I will accept $15 for 10 tenders. You know, I will accept that.
But that's not how much this costs.
Yeah, you're gonna need to double that, and then add $4.
Ridiculous.
$34 for 10 tenders. Yeah. And while these are big tenders,
$3.50 a tender.
We haven't eaten them yet, but I'm assuming they got to be good, or else this place would go out of business. I still, even in my mind, even if these are phenomenal, my mind is like, doesn't matter.
This may be the only time we get these tenders.
Unless this like changes our life. If like
I met like a nice girl that I've been on like 4 or 5 dates, and she's really into fried chicken tenders. I'd be like, girl, I got a place. We're going. Yeah.
Or I mean, like I said, the only way this becomes a norm for me is if when I eat this. When I eat this tender, if my third eye is opened and I am open to a whole new world I never knew of and had a greater understanding of how the universe works. Then I'd be like, okay, I get why we're spinning it. That's the only way.
If a screen pops up and says you have gained 20 experience, you have leveled up twice. Please apply points. I'm like, okay.
Then I'd be like, now I get it. Honestly, they could charge more than $34 if that's what's going on. But all right.
All right.
Let's do this.
Tender. No dip.
No dip. No
sauce.
They did give us some sauces that I am going to get into because I got to.
All right. Oh, it smells so good. Oh my god. It's so juicy.
And it's seasoned.
This is the juiciest goddamn tender I've ever had. The breading.
And the seasoning. Just a lot.
It's amazing. Here's the crunch.
There's a little sweetness in it with a little spice too.
It's so rich. 10 tenders is too many. This is so much. God damn.
Okay.
That's goddamn amazing.
I am still not saying that this price is appropriate.
A little spicy. A little too spicy for me.
I'm okay with this because this is a hint. But I'm still not saying this.
Yeah, but I'm not a big spice guy.
Yeah,
I'm not a big heat guy.
But this is one, and I'm not even joking. This is one of the best tenders I've ever
had. I can't think of another tender I've had that's better than this.
Yeah.
Well, no, but maybe it's a nostalgia thing. But there's a place called Golden Chicken in Texas. They got that's my tender. If I go back down to Texas, I'm like, I gotta find a golden chicken. A golden chick. That's good stuff. Jesus.
Yeah. Frickin' A. No, this is a good tender.
But now it's in our heads. Now it's in our heads. We're gonna want tenders. I'll be like, I can't go to a Zell's.
No, this is like, I will admit, this is phenomenal. But this is, as you said, maybe I'm going steady with a girl and she wants some chicken or special occasion once a year or something. This isn't it's a Saturday, let's go get some chicken. Like hanging out with the boys on a Saturday, let's go get some chicken. No, F that. I'm not.
My life for some ranch though, man. That would really round out that heat.
Yeah. Speaking of which, they did give us 2 different dips.
That looks more heat.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is. I'm a ranch guy. I'm from Texas.
I'm gonna try this first one.
Let me see the other one. What is that? That's got to be mayonnaise, right?
No, it's probably a aioli of some sort.
The hell is aioli?
It's an egg-based dip, but like a lot of things, they like.
I guess this is Asian chicken.
If you get I will try calamari at a lot of restaurants, they'll have aioli with it. We used to make it at our restaurant. Okay, I'm trying this.
That's not too bad.
I have no idea what it is. Let me give it. Oh, okay. It's a little liquidy.
Oh,
dripped it on my jeans.
Good podcasting. Just listening to us eat food.
It's pretty good. It's basically a Thousand Island sort of. Not really spicy now.
Anyway, that's fantastic.
That is. I'm still $34. Still not appropriate.
Yeah, too much.
But
I mean, you get a lot.
You do get a lot. Those 10 tenders, like when I first opened it up,
they are not skimping on the chicken in these tenders, and it's not like a tender where it's like over-breaded to make it look like there's more.
No,
it is all chicken with some really fantastic breading.
Yeah, like when I first opened the box, and I was like, man, they gave us more than 10 tenders, and I just realized, oh no, these are some big-ass tenders.
And it was like 20, 30 minutes between getting them and eating them, so it's like I'm surprised that the breading is holding up.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of tenders I get. But like by the time they get to me, that breading is soggy. It is not crispy anymore.
Yeah, no, definitely A+ on the quality and flavor. But I mean, bring that price down, even just down to like take $10 off, 24. I could do 24 for this.
Anyway, this place is not paying us.
No,
this is not. Yeah, so we're not going to say it. But if you want to email us, watchingitpodcast@gmail.com, we will get, if you live in the Seattle region, we will give you the name of this chicken place if you have the funds.
Yeah. If you're working at Amazon or something, but or if you've been saving up for a while.
Man, downtown Kirkland was already expensive, and now this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, their Shake Shack is so good too, but it's so expensive. Anyway, this is episode 35 of the Watching It Podcast. I'm your host, Robert.
Not watching it.
Talking It podcast, brought to you by Watching It.
Yep.
I'm your host, Robert, and with me is Donnell.
Yep.
And this is another food challenge.
Yes.
An expensive one.
It's been a while since we've done these. I have seen some things at the store that I'm like, I gotta buy some of these.
Man, we should have talked about that. Man, can we get some advertisers up in here, okay? Because that dip I got for the party, the board game party.
Salsa?
Oh man, let me tell you, everybody, if you need some salsa ideas, Reddit Salsa Snobs is got you covered, man.
Yep, that's aioli. Not bad. That's pretty good.
Yep. I wish I'd gotten some ranch. I got mail.
You got mail.
It's a very odd occurrence for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what algorithm I figured out, but I get maybe like one piece of mail every 6 months.
Like
outside of like when like tax season comes and I'm getting like all the tax documents sent to me, which most of those don't come in mail anymore. I download them through websites and stuff. But I got a piece of mail, not just a piece of mail, but like hand addressed, stamped piece of mail. Look at the calligraphy on this.
That is something. There.
I didn't even consider to me, like, I've always been like, oh, you're supposed to like write the address and name and stuff like in the center. Like this is like the whole envelope and like fancy cursive and stuff. It is unexpected what this was. I was not expecting this. Yeah. So you remember the formation of the Cape Crew?
I do remember the formation of the Cape Crew.
And then that evening we went to a nightclub that I am a member of. It is a private nightclub.
Yep.
I joined that nightclub 15 years ago, I want to say.
Okay.
And if you recall, when we went in, they were like, we don't know you. I'm like, I'm a member. They're like, where's your card? And I'm like, I don't have a card. And they pulled out this dusty tome that they opened up and found my name. And they're like, okay, you can come in with your guest. 15 years I've been with this club. Yep. Finally sent me my membership card.
Oh, snap.
I'm like, I don't know if I've got a number. It's like, it's initialed. I got to get this laminated, man. Like this is.
When we go into the club, Robert.
Hey, I'm down. I'm down whenever. I'm gonna walk in. I am a member of the elite at this club now because it has been a long, trending joke at this particular club that no one ever gets their ID card. And they're just like, everyone's like, I'm still waiting for them to send it to me.
Yeah.
Just like, geez, the backlog. Like,
I mean, I just like the tome still. You know, I mean, the card. Yeah,
it was a big, giant, dusty
but I just
tome.
like for the type of club this was, the tome just seemed appropriate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It seemed like, why are we doing ID cards at all?
Super goth club. Enforced dress code.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm just like. Yeah, I was like, the tone was just, it seemed like the practical way to do it. Or maybe not practical, but the what this club needed was a tone.
So we should talk a little bit about we talked about the formation of the Cape Crew.
No, on the
so
podcast.
me and Donnell, we had a after work board game group, which we would reserve a conference room and a couple of people at the company
at
we
our
worked
office,
for.
Yeah, we would.
We as soon as work was out, we'd all gather and play a couple of board games for an hour or two, and then go about our business. And
maybe order some pizza.
There was a work party coming up. This is pre-COVID.
Yep.
There was a work party coming up. And I don't remember who.
No one
said
does.
It.
No one does.
All I know is that somebody said we should wear capes.
Yes.
And I said we should absolutely wear capes.
Yep.
And then it was a Mexican standoff for several weeks of like, everybody's bringing a cape, right? I don't want to be the only person who brings a cape.
We getting capes? Everyone, you getting capes? Yeah, I'm getting a cape. Are you sure? Yeah, going back and forth. But I still, one of my favorite memories from the formation of the Cape Crew was once we had gotten past the Mexican standoff. We weren't sure. We had all acquired capes.
Up until the moment we met because we had somebody come. You came over to my place, and another member came over to my place.
Yeah.
And we all had our case. I'm like, okay, well, there's at least 3 of us.
Yeah.
We're good. If the other ones don't do it, we're
not alone in this. Yeah. But still, we'd gotten past the point of, are we getting capes? Everyone had a cape. We weren't sure.
We were showing off our capes at work.
That's what I'm about to say. 2 of our members, one of them happened to be our receptionist. And we were up there, and I just remember receptionist answered to HR. They're picking order. I remember they like, ooh, let me show you my cape. And they pulled out their capes, and we're looking at them in the front at the front desk. And her boss comes in.
No, it was in the conference room behind the front desk.
Yeah.
And then the HR
her boss comes in, HR manager comes in, and he's all like, oh, what you got there? Like, oh, we got some capes. Like, oh, you guys aren't doing the weird like Harry Potter stuff at the holiday
he was
party.
Like, I don't want to see no Harry Potter shit at the holiday party. And like, I'm just like, this is not Harry Potter.
Yeah, and we were like, we're not doing that. Don't worry.
This is hobbits.
And it definitely had us all like, are we gonna get in trouble for this? What's going to happen?
Yeah,
we show up in capes.
So yeah, there's 2 awesome. Well, there's a bunch of awesome stuff about that night, but first it was an awesome location, dude. The ballroom they got was gigantic and awesome. This whole hotel thing. But first, there were a lot of groups that had different themes going on. Yeah, that were they had organized wearing the same T-shirt or something. I'm like, we were the most awesomeness.
Oh,
we had
100%.
There were people who were like, I didn't know we were supposed to wear capes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you gotta be on the in group. You gotta be part of the Cape Crew.
Yeah,
you know,
this is not just free for everyone.
But because we were friends, so one of the members is one of the front desk persons.
Yeah.
And the other one is another good friend of ours was the office manager who was in charge of planning the party. We got the center table.
Yeah, front center.
Front center, because it was like a whole bunch of tables, but there was a big podium and stuff because they were doing prizes and speeches and all this stuff, corporate work party kind of thing.
Yep.
So where the CEO and everybody should have been sitting, we were sitting right in the middle,
decked out in capes.
What were they, 8 of us or something?
I mean, so let's see, me, you, that's 5, 6. And then there were 7 of us. We had the tag along who joined the Cape Crew late.
There was an odd man
and was never officially a part of the Cape Crew. I'm just going to say it.
I don't know, man. He wasn't part of the core group.
We had arranged and planned
in the board game thing,
and then he was like, "What you guys doing? You wearing a cape?" And I went in. I'm just like, yeah. I just felt like his membership was never.
Whoever was wearing
the board had never signed off on him being in the Cape Crew.
He was in the right place at the right time
and had a cape.
Still a member of the Cape Crew.
All right.
Don't even know his name.
No, I feel like his name was Mike something.
But it was just it was so funny that just we're just in the center in our capes. They're just like, who are these people?
Hey, I've kept the Cape Crew alive, one is that we still exist, of course.
We have a couple of things here.
We have an event coming up.
Do we? Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And I'm thinking because of what I'm probably wearing to this event, I'm thinking I'm going to need a new cape, Robert. I'm going to need a new cape because what I'm wearing, I'm like the purple cape. Yeah, I have
my cape. My cape is luxurious and perfect, and I can't see myself having another cape, and I don't know if I'd ever get another one of the quality that I have.
No.
I've had a cape for a very long time. I bought mine when I was
were the only
17 or 18. And in my hometown, Denton, Texas, there was a lot of theater stuff going on, and there was a legit high quality theater costume rental place.
Yeah.
Not like you're gonna get a plastic mask with a string that holds it on.
No, this is like
you're gonna
real
get
deal.
something made like legit.
Yeah,
and
if you order a mask, it's like we'll give it to you in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and you could rent
make it.
you could buy. And I bought a cape. It was like $800 or something at the time, and this was 20 more plus years ago.
Yeah,
so I was before inflation. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Like if you bought something from the store, it was expensive.
Oh, yeah, it's high
but
quality.
I've had it this whole time, and kept it safe and well stored and stuff. And it's like I've never.
You were the only one in the Cape crew who had their cape to begin with.
Yeah, well, one person made theirs, which was awesome. It was like 10 feet long or 15 feet long.
Yeah, trailed behind her.
Just massive and stuff. But everybody's cape was awesome. And it fit their outfit and their personality perfectly.
I went all out. I got a purple cape, so I had this purple and pink bow tie with purple and pink suspenders. I had purple rocking it, man. I was looking good.
That's good stuff.
But I've worn I at my previous company, the holiday party they had there. I'm like, maybe a solo venture, but the Cape crew rolls. I rolled into my holiday party with a cape. Won best dressed that night.
Nice.
And everyone's like, man. He's like, oh, capes. You don't see those. Like, no, you don't. That's
right.
That's what the Cape crew is all about.
That's
we're like, I feel like you should see capes.
Episode.
I feel like you should see capes. Why'd we stop wearing capes, folks? So the Cape crew, that's how we do. That's how we do.
My other favorite moment is when it was after party time.
Yep.
And we decided, I'm like, oh, I'm a member of this private club, but I can bring y'all in as guests if y'all want to come. And so we worked our way.
Yep.
Up
through
the hill,
Seattle. Yep.
Yeah, to get there. And I love as we were getting closer, and our other party member. It sounds like we're on a crusade here. Like a party member.
It was a quest that night.
It was
Robert.
a trek to get across.
It
town
was
and
a
up
quest.
The hill. Yeah, because her cape was like 15 feet long. She was just carrying it.
Yeah,
because she's like, I can't wear it all the time. And like especially walking the dirty streets of Seattle sometimes. And then we got closer, and I'm like, put on your cape, we're gonna go down this alleyway. And it was like this dark alley, like it's just like into a gloomy depths, right? Because it's just like like we had to help her down because she had high heels on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's like a 45-degree, incline to get down. And Donnell's just like, you have to give us more information than that. I'm just like, put on the cape. We're going into an alley, and it's a dark, scary alley that makes no sense why you would go down it.
Yeah,
because the club is at the bottom of this
the
incline,
yeah,
in an alley with a nondescript door.
Yep.
There's nothing that like from the street you look at this and go, there is a nightclub there.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was so one of the great Donnell lines of like, you got to tell us more than that. It's like, I don't want to go to a second location with you.
Exactly.
Good times. Good times. Yeah. Oh man, see, we gotta. Well, I don't want to say it on. Does the person, one of the main headliners of the event that we will be attending in Cape Crew form later listen to the show?
No.
Because I think we need to get them capes.
Ooh.
And we need to induct them.
I mean, we have been talking
into
about
the Cape, because they have been voted in, but they have not been told.
Yeah,
we have not had.
Are we talking about before the event, or are we talking about like we get them capes?
Is it too awkward to give them at the event?
No, because if it was anybody else, maybe, but because of who it is, no. It's not in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, because they're going to be making their way around, and the Cape crew is going to be sitting at their own table, right? Because there's not assigned seating.
Yeah. And
even if there was, we already told them to put us at the same table. And it's like, we're going to be the Cape crew there, and then they're going to come around, and we're going to be like, hey.
Yeah.
Induction time. We voted on this a year
ago. Yeah.
We just hadn't told you yet.
Hadn't made it official. But I mean, because definitely we've lost some members to the Cape crew, unfortunately.
We haven't lost members. They have traveled elsewhere. There are other adventures at the moment.
Exactly.
We may see them one day.
Maybe. Yeah. It would be nice. It would be have a Cape crew reunion one of these days. That'd be nice.
There need to be more members to have a reunion.
Yeah. Well, that's why we gotta add these next two.
Yeah, we gotta.
We'll start looking for
expand
new. We'll start looking
the operation
for new members. Yes, Cape Crew. Love the Cape Crew. Anyways, got a little bit of update, Robert.
Oh,
got a little bit of update. I don't know
on what subject.
Well, if you remember, I told you about the ketchup and mustard cars at my job. The red Kia Soul on the yellow.
Oh yes.
Always parked
because there was like
the
love story you were putting together about. Yeah.
They always park next to each other for. Like I said, I've been in the company now for a year and a half and for I'd say 80% of that time, they were always parked next to each other. And then not recently, but a few months ago, that stopped. And like I said, in my mind, I was just like, something happened. In my mind, this was a couple that fell in love over their ketchup and mustard looking cars and parked. But maybe they also could have been best friends. I don't know. But something in that relationship happened because they were not parking. Yeah. Well, the update I have, and it's
mayonnaise got involved, you know.
Yeah, maybe mayonnaise got invited, and he shouldn't have been. You know, you keep the mayonnaise out of your thing. Well, now.
And you've never seen the people?
No, never seen who gets in these cars. Never seen them at once. And now that's the update is I'll never get to see. Their cars aren't there anymore. Anywhere in the garage, like not just parking together. So something happened, and then they both left the companies they were working for.
Oh.
And I'm just like, I need closure.
Yeah.
Like I need to know. Did you work it out? Like, I feel like I wanted them to work it out, Robert.
No.
I really...
No. Definitely ketchup murdered mustard.
And is on the run? You think ketchup's on the run?
Well, ketchup moved on. But was still, like, heartbroken.
Yeah.
And then murdered
and then
mustard.
Yeah.
With a candlestick in the library.
Yeah, 100%. I was just noticing. I was driving like, I don't see any of their cars. And then
I have no idea how to play Clue.
I used to play.
I just know that you have cards in a little pocket thing, and then you're supposed to guess who killed. Who somebody? Who was murdered? Who the murderer was, and with what device, and in what room?
Yeah.
I have no idea how the actual game is played that you would determine that information.
You wander around the board, and you go in different rooms, and like there's ways to somehow get clues. It's been like I played it when I was a kid, and I liked it a lot, but I haven't played it since. Maybe I'll pick up Clue. Maybe make that a game night.
Oh yeah. Anybody know the rules? Nope. Okay, let me read the rules. Every time you do a board game thing, or anybody really, it's just like, oh, let's bust out this game and let me pull out the tome of rules and learn how to play.
That's my biggest thing. Is I'm just like, and like, because I was last weekend had some friends in town who they do board games, and I saw like the biggest issue with the board games is. Or when I'm getting board games, like I rate board games on a lot of things. You know, fun factor, of course, and how easy it is to clean up and set up. Like especially like how organized the box is put together. Yeah. You know, sometimes you just get a fucking box and they're like, here you go, and like, and that's really low. But I've also had some boxes where like they have dividers, they give you baggies and stuff. I'm like, this is a nice box, and that raises my opinion of the game. Yeah. But another thing is also like,
well, well for that on that subject, sidebar, I think. Because I think the board game makers know that people who care, there is a company out there that makes specially designed wooden, high quality boxes with separators and everything for the game. And it's just like the board game companies are like, look, we're just going to throw this stuff in a box. If the person really cares, they're going to go to this company and spend $100 on the
like I said, to me, that's a cop out. Because the thing is, it's true. That is true. That that is an option, and that's option. But also, like I've looked up those things. Those cost a little bit of money. Yeah. So do the board games. Not a little bit, a lot. Yeah. And you know, so my thing is like, okay, yeah, maybe that is my end game. Is I'm going to get a custom box. But I mean, board games you've seen, they can get up to $100, even $200. So I just dropped $150 on your game. They want $200 for the box. It's going to be a bit before I get that box. So while I don't have the box, give me some fucking dividers. That's a cop out in my opinion.
No, there was a guy I used to go play board games at his house, and he had tons of games. Some of them were like the $100 or $200 games.
Yeah,
and every game he had the custom box and sleeves for all the cards.
Yeah,
and I was just like, what do you do for a living, man? Like, where's all this money coming from?
Where's the money at?
Like,
yeah.
You know, speaking of board game rules, I just recently learned something I did not know, and I ask you this, Donnell. Do you know how to play the game of hopscotch?
No, never knew.
I know. It's like one of the simplest games in the world. I just learned this like the last couple of weeks.
That you throw,
there is a rock,
and there's something you do.
Somebody
jump
had
in.
Posted a thing on Reddit that said, like, I walk up to a hopscotch thing and I have no idea what's going on there, but somebody explained the rules.
Man,
the rules of hopscotch, very simple.
Okay,
you take a rock, and you try and throw 2 people to play, more or plus.
Right.
You know, but at least 2 people. I guess you could play alone, but it's kind of sad.
It's just sad. Yeah, it's just sad.
But you have a rock, right, and you try and throw it in the first square because they're numbered, right. If you miss, skip your turn, goes to the next person.
Okay.
If you get it in the thing, you have to hop all the way to the end, one-legged.
Right.
You can only put 1 foot in each square. Now, hopscotch has there's a certain point where there's 2 squares.
Yeah.
So that because little kids, so you can put 1 foot in each square.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Because you can only have
I remember that.
Get to the end, and then you hop back and pick up your rock on the way.
Okay.
Right? And then the next person goes. And then when it's your turn again, if you had completed the scenario,
going for 2, and then
you go for 2, and it's whoever can complete all the way to the end wins.
Nice.
Stupid game.
Nothing like being in your 40s and just learning how to play hopscotch.
Yeah. Who came up with hopscotch?
You wanna set up a board outside, Robert? Me and you do a round.
I think I'm still spry enough to play a game of hopscotch. But yeah, who came up with that?
I mean,
and then just like
childhood games were always just inane, and it's got to be something simple.
I mean, all you need is a rock
quick.
and a piece of chalk.
Yep, exactly. It's got to be something simple and quick that you can play in the 30 to 45 minutes you got in recess. Is recess still a thing? Like, in schools? Okay,
recess. At least young.
I'm just
Like
just.
First 5 grades, because I think they folded 6th grade into middle school.
Yeah,
when I was growing up, it was elementary was 1 through 6.
Yep.
And then you had a kindergarten, right? And then you had middle school was 7 and 8.
Yep.
And then high school was 9 through 12 or whatever.
Or if you were in one of those weird places that forsook middle school for junior high, you had 7, 8, and 9 for whatever reason, and then high school was 10, 11, 12.
When my brother went to school, it was
that.
7, 8, and 9. So like they were just changing that over.
Yeah,
and that's such a middle school is an odd thing. You're just gonna put 2 grades together.
Yeah, well, 3 now.
3 now.
But it's still weird. Why? Like, I don't know.
I also don't understand why there's the separation.
Nobody knows.
I guess because you can't put everybody in one place because it'd be just like this massive building. But...
And then also like and you need different what is it? I don't know, just different structures. I also just think about when you're a teenager, the last thing you want to do is hang around young kids. You're like, I don't want that. You know?
I mean, I guess it's better than what it used to be, which was like. You either don't go to school, you just go straight to the mine when you can you have the dexterity to pick up a rock, or it's like, oh, here's a 1-room classroom where like 12 kids are gonna learn how to read and write, do some basic math, and then by the time you're like 12, it's like, okay, well, you're either gonna go to college or you're gonna get to work at the factory, or in the fields, right?
Yeah. It's different times.
Yeah.
Oh man. So circling back, because I wanted to, all the way back to the board games. I'm gonna say one of the things for me is how thick is the rule book? Because I just know if I get a group of people together, the thicker rule book I pull out of the box, the less likely we're gonna get to play that game tonight. Like if we're all sitting at a table, and like sometimes it's great, you pull out a rule book that's literally like just one piece of paper, front and back, and you're like, oh, this game's going. But you pull out a thick rule book. You're like, even if you tell everybody you've played the game before and you already know the rules, you're just pulling it. They just see that and they're like, he's pulling out a novel.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to play
and not to mention Charterstone, where the rules changed every couple of hours. Like that was ridiculous.
Charterstone was great for coming back. You know, we were playing it, months apart sometimes. It's being like, so wait, what happened? And we're just like trying to like Charterstone needs. I mean. it sounds dumb, but you need a previously on when you play Charterstone.
Yeah,
just a previously on Charterstone.
Well, I mean,
gives you a little bit of a breakdown of what you did and what everyberry's powers.
That's what one of the players was doing. He was taking a picture of the board after every session because it took 12 sessions to play. Well, there's also Above and Below, which I don't know if you played that yet.
No,
but
every time
the rule book is gigantic. There's 2 books. There's one that's like a scenario guide, and then there's the main rule book is really a lot. But it's really just a reference gauge for all the symbols and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like the rules are very simple and whatnot. But I think if someone is bringing a board game that no one else has played to the table, they need to have already read and understood the rules.
I try to do that if I'm going.
And then I don't think that there should be a recitation of the rules. Like what is normally done, you just read the rules out and explain it to everybody before you play. I think you just dive in, set up the board, and just be like, we're gonna, because you always do a trial round and then reset the game.
Yeah.
So it's really just okay. I'm gonna talk everybody through a round. We're just gonna go around. Everybody's gonna do their turn, and then start. And it's like because people need to be engaged because every 100%. Time it's always party atmosphere. Somebody's trying to read the rules and explain how everything's gonna work, but everyone's just kind of having side conversations, and I'm messing with the music and all this. Yeah, it's
getting food and yeah. Good stuff. All right, well, we're gonna take a quick break here and we get back. Got some. Do you have a news story?
I have no news story.
I thought you said you had a news story, but okay.
I'll look. I'll check my notes, but I don't think I have a news story. I had a news story last time.
Okay, maybe I'm just remembering from last time. Maybe that's it. Yeah, that's probably it. Well, anyways, folks, we're going to take ourselves a brief break. When we get back, I got some news.
All right, what do you got for us, Donnell?
Got us a couple stories, couple headlines that I think are just interesting. But we're going to start with a little news from the tech world, Robert. A little news from the tech world. Okay. We're both in tech, you know.
Yep.
That's our job. That's what we do.
I'm not really in tech.
Okay, yeah.
We just work in IT.
Hey, it's being in tech to that degree. Someone needs to keep the current tech working while other people make new tech, okay? Anyways, so here's this headline. This is coming from IGN. And here's the headline, and I'm just... All right, here we go. First human patient to receive a Neuralink brain implant used it to stay up all night playing Civilization 6.
So like the Elon Musk Neuralink thing?
Elon Musk.
The thing that's killing a bunch of monkeys?
Yes.
We put it in a person?
Yeah. Oh, he announced a little... So the human has finally been revealed, of course, by this article and other stuff. But no. Yeah, they announced earlier this year that they had successfully put it in a human. And it came to the shock of everybody because, like you just said, it was only being used on monkeys. It had some issues with monkeys. And they at no point said, which I guess, is one of those better to ask forgiveness or beg for forgiveness and ask permission. They just went ahead and they found a volunteer and they just went ahead and did it. And then Elon was like, we did it. And he's healing up. We're not telling you who he is though. And I'm just like, oh yeah, because that's how things are done.
Yeah.
you just go ahead and do it.
Done. The first human patient implanted with a brain chip from Neuralink appears to have fully recovered. And what was fully recovered? Was he not recovered?
I mean,
and is able to control a computer mouse using their thoughts. Okay, that's a lot.
Yes.
That's something.
Yes.
I don't know anything about Neuralink other than it's supposed to somehow upload you to a computer.
Yeah. And for me, it's 100% you couldn't pay me enough money to have it. I look at all of our smart devices and AI and how easily fallible. I'm like, oh, so you want me to put that in my brain? Like, what's gonna this guy? It fully recovered. I'm like, what's gonna happen when someone hacks that chip? Oh, it has security. Sure, it does.
Yeah.
But everything's hacked. What if he gets a virus? What the fuck does that do to you?
Can it send data the other way?
Yeah. It's like, I was like, no, this is not.
If they tap me, if they reach out to me like, hey, we would like to be a test subject for Neuralink. One of the first. I'm gonna be like, does Elon have it?
Yeah.
No.
Why does Elon not have it?
Him first. When he's comfortable, when the richest man in the world or whatever is comfortable having it implanted in him, that's when I'll get it.
Yeah. Even then,
unless they're gonna pay me an obscene
Elon
amount of money.
is a psychopath. So in my opinion, just because he's comfortable,
how much
having
should
it put
what's
in
this
his
guy's
head,
compensation for being the first Neuralink
I don't know
human?
if they say that, but so I'm going to read a little bit from the article. So,
I mean, I'm sure that's
like I said, earlier this year they announced that they had a successful placement. A little bit later, Elon went on Twitter and said that the patient was healing up just fine. And then finally, on March 20th, Neuralink posted on its own update on X, fucking Twitter, in the form of a 9-minute live stream in which 29-year-old patient, implant recipient Noland Arbaugh, I'm going with Arbaugh, used the technology to play a digital version of chess while discussing how living with the experimental aid had changed his life. It was like using the force on the cursor. I could get it to move wherever I wanted, just stare somewhere on the screen and it would move there where I wanted it to, which was a wild experience, explained Arbaugh. The 29-year-old complete quadriplegic shared that he had lost sensation and suffered paralysis. Thank you, from below the shoulders after sustaining a spinal injury during a diving accident 8 years ago, and had felt compelled to volunteer for the trial out of an urge to be part of something that he felt could change the world.
Okay, makes sense.
Yes, makes sense.
And look, I'm not saying I wouldn't use it to play video games. Yeah. You're like quadriplegic.
Yeah.
Like you can't do anything.
You can't really do much.
And you're like, I'd really like to get into this video game
now
stuff.
You can surf the web and do all the things.
So that's huge. That's huge. That's fantastic.
It's huge. It's
scary.
It's great and all, but it's one of those things like, and this is what I've said about a lot of things with tech. Like, because like I speak about, I'll talk down about self-driving cars, about AI, about smart houses all the time, but it's not because I don't want those things. It's that we are implementing them before we have figured out all the kinks, and that's how I feel about this Neuralink thing. Is I'm just like, I
mean, we're still in the dark ages to a degree, and a lot of scientific and especially medical advancements have happened under cowboy circumstances.
True,
for sure.
But here's my thing: is most of the time it's still like, and I guess you could say this is happening with Neuralink, so I won't put in the same category as the other stuff. But like the stuff with like smart homes, there's still a lot of quirks and issues, but it's already being given out to people.
Yeah.
Same with like Tesla self-driving cars. You're literally a beta tester for them. Like, but that thing's on the fucking road.
Yeah,
like, do I believe self-driving cars
could... supposed to be. You're not supposed to use
but that self-driving cars could be a thing? Sure, eventually. But I don't want you testing it in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
like, let's get that sorted out and then maybe.
Well, it's like that people, there was somebody who just like posted about their washing machine was using like 3 gigabytes of data a week or something. It's because somebody had hacked it and put a Bitcoin miner on it.
Yeah, exactly.
On their washing machine.
We haven't.
You know, I've got a smart TV, never hooked it up to the internet.
Yeah,
never gonna.
Same with mine. Mine is also just because I'm like, why would I? I don't need it.
Yeah. The second I do that, it's gonna download the software update that gives me advertisements. I'm like, no way. It's working fine as it is. I don't need software updates.
Yeah, you need to update your firmware. I'm just trying to watch TV. Update your firmware. Why?
You know what? I'm surprised never became a thing. There was a guy, I want to say in the 50s, but maybe somewhere in there, where and this is dubious. This is bad, right? Mm-hmm. He got some mental patients.
Yep.
And cut into their skull and put an implant in there that would electrically stimulate the pleasure centers of the brain. Mm-hmm. And they had a button they could press.
Right.
He just wanted to see what would happen.
Yeah.
And these people would just push the button.
Oh yeah.
Just all their whole life would be just
like
push the
way
button.
More than any drug.
And they wouldn't eat. They would just push the button. And I'm just like, how did that not become a thing people just did?
Yeah.
Why is that I mean, that was 70 years ago at least, right? And we can't figure out that tech. Why is this Neuralink not doing this? Like, I'm surprised that is just not something that ever became a thing that people did, like, illicitly.
Yeah. No, it's more than any drug, man. It's more than if you could just turn on.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. We're getting into weird territory, but that's the thing about almost everything we experience in life. Like pain doesn't exist. It's how your mind interprets the signals that come from your nerves. Overall, pain doesn't exist. Neither does, like you said, pleasure. Neither does all this stuff. So if you could control that shit, like, you could push through things. Like, I mean, they talk about people who mentally can do it, but like you could push through pains that you could continue to do, or you could just, like you said, just be at home, just sitting at home having the best time of your life when nothing's happened. Just like, this is fantastic. Like,
there's a good book series by Larry Niven, the Ringworld series. Which I think they're working on a show or movie series for that. And oh boy, that's a good one. That's one of the greats. But the guy, one of the main characters in like the second book or something, he basically has a neural implant that like just sends pleasure to his brain. Yeah. And he just gets high all day. But he has like a setting on it that's like he can only use it for like 10 hours and then it locks him out for like a day. Because he's just like, otherwise, this is all I would do and I would just wither away and die. Yeah. Yeah. But it comes in handy later because he like gets into some stuff and there's like a chemical pheromone thing that an alien's putting out that's like drawing him in, but because he's spent so much time like resisting this pleasure electrode, he's able to resist this pleasure pheromone that's trying to drag him in. He's like, no one else could have except for a junkie like me could have ignored the draw of this thing. So it's an interesting sci-fi thought. I love sci-fi. So good. So the things it explores. So good. Yeah.
It's freaking great. All right, here's the next.
Read 3 Body Problem. The remembrance of
you haven't read it, Robert.
It's all. Look,
I'm just kidding. Look, I know.
No, let's talk about that. Because what does it mean? What am I going to say? I listen to it.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way too. I always say what I.
Most of the people, maybe not currently, but for several thousand years.
Stories were told.
The way people read books or experienced
word
these
of mouth,
stories were
came...
someone reading it to them because they didn't know how to read.
Or even before written languages. That's how our history and stories were passed down. It was just straight up. There was a person who just knew it all and hey, I'm going to tell you about some stuff. So I get it. We're just returning to the original way we were meant to.
That's right. Stories. Yeah, that's right.
All right, Robert. Here's our next one, and this one's weird. All right, a woman
weirder than a brain implant controlling a mouse from a paralyzed guy. I mean, that's like Star Trek: The Next Generation, where like the second or third episode, Picard turns into an energy being that experiences the entire universe in its entirety. Like some kind of weird god creature, and then he gets reconstituted, and then like for the next 7 seasons, every now and then he'll be like, "This is the most amazing thing I've ever experienced." I'm like, lies, sir, lies. Second episode, you experienced the craziest thing that could possibly happen to a human being. Everything that happens to you after that point, even getting like probed into a life where you spent 70 years and learning the flute,
becoming a board.
There is nothing that will ever compare to being turned into an energy being that experiences all the universe at once. Peak weirdness has happened to you.
There is no.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, go on.
All right. So here's our headline. A woman purchased a vacant Hawaiian lot for $22,000.
Boy, that's cheap.
She was surprised.
A lot in Hawaii. Okay, well, there's a reason.
She was surprised to see a $500,000 home built on it by mistake.
Oh, I think I saw something about this. Yeah.
So
they're trying to get her to pay for it.
Yeah. So here we go. Because So a woman who purchased a vacant lot in Hawaii was surprised to find a $500,000 home built on the property.
And it was supposed to be like on the next property over or something.
Yeah. She is now mired in legal wrangling over the mix-up. Ann Reynolds purchased a 1-acre lot in Hawaiian Paradise Park, a subdivision of Big Island Puma District, in 2018 for $22,500.
Where was I didn't know that was like a thing. I had $22,000 in 2018.
Yeah.
If I had known that I could go to Hawaii and buy a lot.
Yeah.
I gotta look.
Yeah.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine.
Oh, there's
there would be a lot outside of some swamp where you can't develop it. Like in Hawaii, that's less than $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, probably not now. I imagine you're not purchasing a $22,000 lot anymore.
That's insanity. But anyway, go on.
So she was in California during the pandemic, waiting for the right time to use it when she got a call from a real estate broker informing her that the house on her property had been sold, which I think got to be the weirdest thing. We're just like at home, like, hey, is this Ann? And you're like, yeah. So just good news. We just sold the house. And you're like, what house? You're like, I live in it. You sold my house and I'm living. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But anyways,
that raises questions. Like, how did they have her information?
I mean, there's records of who owns property, so they probably can't. Like,
yeah, but the real estate broker called the wrong person. Like,
no. The real estate. So here's the thing: is that I see how it happened easily. Is so she owns the land.
Yep.
The construction crew comes in and builds houses on the property that they own, but they build it on hers. The real estate broker doesn't work for the construction company. He comes in afterwards. They hire him to sell the house. So he comes in, he looks at the house. They're like, oh, let's look up the property owner. Oh, it's Ann Reynolds. Because I'm assuming the construction company never looked up or paid attention.
Yeah.
But he did. When
I would think that like the broker would have contacted the construction company to be like, we sold the house that you just built.
I mean, it's on her property.
But anyway, go on.
But anyways,
look, this is a calamity already.
So local developer Keanu Development Partnership hired Pete. So this is where it goes down the phone chain, because that's the developer, but they hired PJ Construction to build about a dozen homes on property developed in the subdivision, but the company built one on Reynolds' lot also. Reynolds, along with the construction company, the architect, and others, are now being sued by the developer.
Yep.
There's a lot of fingers being pointed between the developer, the contractors, and their subcontractors. It says Reynolds' attorney. Reynolds rejected the developer's offer for a neighboring lot of equal size and value, according to court documents.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you stuff. It would be.
I would be looking at this and thinking dollar signs. I'm like, I'm not
going to come up later.
Just the adjacent lot. I'm like, this is. Yeah. Somebody's going to pay me some money or I'm getting a free house.
Yeah. So it would set a dangerous precedent if you could go to someone else's land and build anything you want and then just sue the individual for the value of it. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, so then we get to PJ Construction's lawyer, and I'm just like, shut your fucking mouth. Because he says, my client believes he's trying to exploit PJ Construction's mistake in order to get money from my client and other parties. Said the Olson of the Associated Press Wednesday. And I'm just like, well, yeah, you built a fucking house on her land.
Yeah.
Like, she's not exploiting anybody. You, like he even said, you made a mistake.
Yeah.
You said my client's mistake. Yes, your client made a mistake. They built a $500,000 house on this person's land who did not want that $500,000 house. It's not on her to accept the land that you want to give her. It's not on her to be like, oh, no big deal. So I'm just like, listen to this lawyer, be like, yeah, she's just trying to exploit my poor client. Like, your poor fucking client built a house where they shouldn't have. It's just, you guys are trying to exploit her at the end of the day.
So is she getting the check from the house? I mean, there's another party involved that bought the house that's now like they're in trouble.
There is somebody out there who's just like, I just want to move into my house.
Yeah.
And now I'm being told that some woman doesn't want my house there. And it's a mess.
Clearly this lady's like, she bought it in 2018. Mm-hmm. It's now.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years.
Yep.
6 years.
Yep.
Something like that. She's not in any hurry to move to Hawaii, which is odd that you would buy a property there and not
bought some land, and then the pandemic happened. I could see that stalls you out of like, okay, I'm not going to go.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess all that stuff. You got to get things together. And then, like I said, so last year is when this started, when she got the call.
Yeah.
So it was 2022. So it was 4 years. I imagine the pandemic set her for 3 of those years, shut down that, and then she probably had a year of like, okay, well, I got to get everything in order again.
Yeah.
And then, like, because it says she was like getting ready, like, okay, I'm now. What we going to do with my land? And that's when the phone rang, like, hey, we sold the house, and she was like, what? So that's what I see it as.
I'd be like, where's my check?
Yeah. But yeah, so no, there's no resolution yet. It's all up in the courts, and I just found that insane. That, I mean, I get it because that's what lawyers do. You're hired to do a job, even if whether you agree with it or not, it's your job. But the fact is like, yeah, she's trying to exploit my client because they made a mistake and built a $500,000. I'm like, yeah, you just said it.
Yeah.
So whether you want to call it exploitation, which I don't see as that. I just see it. She just wants what she deserves. You built a fucking house on her land.
Move the house.
Yeah.
That moving a house is not as expensive as you would think. Well, I guess probably they don't do it a lot in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And getting the equipment to Hawaii is probably difficult. But yeah.
All right. So now I got a couple headlines, and then we'll go to our last story. So our first headline. These are just headlines that just sound bizarre. So here's our first headline. It comes from AP News, and this is what it is. Don't sit on the bench. Jamal Marshburn talks about the importance of colon cancer screening.
Okay.
And I'm just like, what? I mean,
I'm getting to that age, man.
Oh, yeah. I just had my physical, and I was there, and I was like, today the day? Today, my doctor's like, hey, you want to... I got the gloves. It didn't come up. I was glad, but I was like, I figure anything past 35 at any point, and then if you're a health conscious person, which I try to be, I'm just like, I'm not turning them down, but I definitely am not going to be the one to bring it up. My doctor will be the one to be like, hey, got the gloves. You want me to poke around in there?
That's like there was one day a couple of years ago where I went in for a haircut, and the lady just took the trimmers and just went right into the ears.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't even have to ask. She just knew. She was like, it's time. We gotta start trimming the ear hair. Like, I didn't bring it up. I knew it was a problem. But she just like, she knows her job.
Yep. She knows her job. All right. Our other headline that I thought was just weird is children. This is also from AP News, coincidentally. Children race to collect marshmallows dropped from a helicopter in Detroit area park.
All right.
And I'm just like, feel like...
Was this an accident? This wasn't an accident.
No, it sounds like it's intentional, but I'm just like, what is the celebration?
What holiday they got going on in Detroit?
What are you doing? Marshmallows dropped from a helicopter. But it is the annual Great Marshmallow Drop, which is a thing in Detroit, apparently.
Awesome.
Nowhere else. And I want to know, what brought this along?
Do marshmallows biodegrade?
I don't know.
I'm not a marshmallow guy.
I know
I've eaten one, but I can't remember, and I'm not a fan. I would never go out and buy a marshmallow.
Yep.
I guess marshmallows come in cocoa every now and then.
Yeah, I'm okay if they're in cocoa. That's
but I
the only
don't
place.
Want them there.
And then if I go somewhere and people are making s'mores, I might make a s'more.
Something about a marshmallow just seems like it might be made out of petroleum products of some sort that are not going to decompose like a normal food stuff item would.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like a forever chemical that we're just deciding. Some people are deciding to eat.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. And our last headline comes with a picture just because of how weird it looks. It is staff at Virginia Wildlife Center pretend to be red foxes as they care for orphan kits, which is what a baby fox is called. And then here's the picture.
I love it. I love this.
This is some horror sauce shit.
Yeah.
It's like a person wearing a fox head with a lab coat
Furries. Did you know?
Gloves
Did
on.
you know that there's a specific job out there for you?
Where you can dress up as a fox and everyone will be like, yeah, no, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
That's the only way. I mean, like I said, they're animal professionals. They know way more than I. But part of me is like,
does it work?
Yeah. Does it really
I've seen like people who have like gloves that look like birds.
Yeah.
To feed baby birds.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, I can see that working. But is a fox really gonna? I mean, you smell different.
You smell different, and all like I said in this picture, they're just wearing the fox head.
Yeah.
So they still have. Like I said, besides the fox head, this is why it's slight horror sauce. It's a person in a lab coat with rubber gloves on. Like, I'll tell you one thing. If I was in a room and that came to the door, I'd be like, oh, fuck.
It's like, Donnell, it's time. It's time.
Time to check that colon. Get me out of here. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right. This is our last story because it's just interesting thought for me is world's oldest man says the secret to his longevity is luck plus regular fish and chips, which if you can't tell, this man's from England. But anyways, Englishman John Alfred Tennis Wood, 111 years old, has been confirmed. As
so I saw. I didn't read the article, but I saw that the oldest man was 111.
Yeah.
I'm like, really, only 111? I thought we had somebody out there who was like 125 or something.
I mean, we probably did at one point, but that's the thing is,
died,
that's the thing. That's what I want to talk about.
Recently crowned. That's a sad story.
Well, that's where I want to go. You're going exactly right. Because let me finish reading this paragraph, and then we're going to dig into that. So, Englishman John Alfred Tenniswood has been confirmed as the new holder of the title of Guinness World Record. It follows the death of Venezuelan record holder Juan Perez, who died at 114 a month ago, and would have been passed to.
Don't even.
It's a Japanese name. I'm sorry. But anyways, he died a week prior at 112. And so that's my thing is like, yeah, they show up to give you this award.
Yeah.
And one is, someone's died. Like the only way you get this. I mean, I guess the only way anyone gets this award going forward is the current guy has to die because you're never going to get older than him any other way. Yeah. So I'm like, and then the other thing I'm just like, it's like, and then also it's just like, here's your reward. But it's also like if you get this award, I mean, of course, even if you don't have the award, you're like, once you get over 100, like you're going to be punching your clocks. But really, when you get the award and they're like, hey, on the face of this planet, you are the oldest person. It's just like a daunting, like before you get the award, you're like, oh, I'm old. But I'm old. But then when they come knocking on your door and be like, hey, you are officially the oldest person on the planet. It's just like, I don't know, it seems a lot more like they write it as a celebratory. Like he has lived a long life, and I'm proud for him. But there's just this dark connotation in my mind of just like it is a little fucked up.
And there's another guy. There's another guy right behind you that's just like, my time's coming.
Yeah, unless, like I said, the Japanese dude who would have gotten this, who passed away the week prior, like, you thought your time was coming, but you didn't make it.
Yeah.
It's a weird competition to win is the way I look at it. Like I just saw them and when they started talking about how he got it, of like I said, the guy from Venezuela dying at 114, I'm just like, if you're gunning for this award, like you said, you're just looking at the elder dude and like, come on, man, just die. Yeah. Just die.
I will say this. I don't like his fish and chip thing. That doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
But he's the only one that I've ever heard say the key, luck.
Yeah, no, I did see that.
Like,
I love that.
There was like one of the oldest lady at one point was like, I have a cigar every day.
Yeah, have a cigar.
That's the key to it.
Or even like the ones that like living a healthy life. Like, there's plenty of people who live healthy lives who don't make that old.
Yeah.
It's
literally just a roll of the dice.
Can you improve your odds? Sure, but that's just like gambling. Anything. There are things you can do to improve your odds, but it's still always going to be luck.
Yeah.
Like you can maybe get a little head start or whatever, but it's still be luck. And so I did like that. He was just like, it's luck. I'm like, thank you. Just saying it.
Boy, I don't want to live that long.
No.
I'll be honest with you.
No. I've told people regularly.
I'm 41 and I'm just kind of like, no, am I 42 now? I don't know how old I am. 2024? I'll be 42 this year.
Okay. All right.
And I'm just like, they're like, oh, well, that's halfway. I'm like, fuck.
That
was a lot. Another round of that.
I've told people regularly. And like, if I don't have a family or a kid, married or kids or anything, but I always said like, no. If Grandpa, when he hits 80, Grandpa's going to be getting weird because Grandpa, and then if Grandpa hits...
No reason we can't start getting weird now. It's the end of the world, Donnell.
True. But then I also was like, and then also once Grandpa, and also like Grandpa's going to get weird and he's just not going to care anymore. Like he's just going to say, but also like, and if Grandpa hits 85, 90, it's not just going to be Grandpa get weird. Grandpa's going to be doing some crazy shit. Like you'll be like, you hear about my Grandpa? Like what? Oh, he drove a motorcycle over the Hoover Dam because Grandpa's trying to get out of here. Yeah. I'm like, get me the fuck out of here.
I'm going to be walking into doctor's offices with box masks and gloves being like, it's time. As always, you can find us on our website, watchingitpod.com. There you can find links to our social media and to email us, watchingitpodcast@gmail.com. Donnell, what else should they do?
I mean,
get a colonoscopy. That's what they should do. If it's that time, it's that. Don't put it off.
About to say if you're over 35, get a colonoscopy.
If he wears a fox mask, get real weird with it.
Get a new doctor. Yeah. No, get a new doctor. If your doctor wears a fox mask when he comes to give you colonoscopy, he's like, you know what? We're gonna rain check this. And I'm gonna get a new doctor. But anyways, give us any ratings, reviews, 5 stars. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.